how overthinking silently destroys your life. What were you doing before you clicked on this video? You were thinking, weren't you? Maybe about whether you should watch a different video. Maybe whether this video is a waste of time. Maybe you thought about checking the comments. Then you came back. Even now, as you're reading these sentences, you're thinking about whether you should be doing something else. Congratulations, you just experienced the first symptom of overthinking and didn't even realize it. Now here's the truly terrifying part. Today, the average person will generate 6,200 thoughts, most of them the same thoughts, over and over, and 80% of these thoughts are negative. Your brain is literally a negativity machine, and you're doing nothing but feeding it energy. Worse, science shows these thought loops are physically changing your brain structure. Every time you overthink, you're strengthening that pathway. Just like when you walk the same path through a forest every day, that path gets wider. Your brain is building highways for overthinking, and every day you're pouring more asphalt. So let me ask you, right now, how many open tabs do you have in your brain? How many unfinished thoughts? How many "I'll deal with it laters"? Because here's the truth. Overthinking doesn't kill you. It does something worse. It lets you live without actually living. So how does overthinking actually work? Why is your brain setting this trap for itself? Here's the trick. Overthinking feels like problem solving. Your brain says, if I think more, I'll find a better answer. But the opposite happens. Every time you think about it, the negative thought loop gets stronger. When you get stuck on certain thoughts, they can turn into bigger, more extreme negative thoughts. Now it gets even worse. Studies show employees spend more than half their workday managing information, not doing their actual jobs, just making decisions. And the more you think, the worse decisions you make. Because maximizers, people who always want the best, experience more anxiety, regret, and are less happy than satisficers, people happy with good enough. Think about it for a second. When was the last time you couldn't sleep because of a simple decision? When did you think, I wish I had done that? When did you analyze an option so much that you ended up doing nothing? This is analysis paralysis, and it's affecting millions of people. Now here's the truly scary part. Overthinking isn't just happening in your brain, it's physically changing your brain. Research shows chronic rumination alters brain chemistry, reduces mood-regulating chemicals, and strengthens automatic negative thoughts. Every time you overthink, you're strengthening that thought pathway. The brain is neuroplastic. When you create repeated patterns, they become your default responses. So the more you overthink, the more your brain wires itself to overthink. It's a vicious cycle, and it's incredibly hard to break. But here's the truly silent part. The way overthinking destroys your life isn't dramatic. It's not one big dramatic explosion. It's small losses. That job you wanted, you didn't apply because you thought about whether you were good enough. That relationship, you ended it because you magnified every small problem in your mind. That project, you never started because you were trying to find the perfect plan. When you delay decisions, you're not being productive. This creates a serious impact because when others' work depends on your decision, they have to wait too. And you don't even realize all this is happening because thinking doesn't feel like a problem. It feels like responsibility. That's the most dangerous thing about overthinking. It disguises itself as something good. Now imagine a real scenario. You have two job offers. One is safe but boring. The other is risky but exciting. A normal person thinks for a few hours, weighs pros and cons, makes a decision. But what does an overthinker do? They analyze every detail for days, maybe weeks. What if I fail at the new job? What if I stay at the old job and regret it? What if there's a perfect third option and I'm missing it? The thought of making the wrong decision can easily keep you up at night. Meanwhile, both offers expire. You get neither. That's paralysis in action. If analysis paralysis is creating significant distress, anxiety, or excessive stress affecting your daily life, you should consider getting professional support. But wait, it gets worse. Overthinking reduces your working memory, kills your creativity, and makes you less happy. One study found that the less people thought about what they were drawing, the more creative their drawings were. So overthinking isn't just slowing you down, it's dulling your abilities. Here are the most devastating consequences. Sleep. If you're having trouble sleeping because you can't shut off these thoughts at night, it's affecting your daily functioning. Sleep loss makes everything worse. Relationships. Overthinking can damage relationships, especially romantic or close personal connections. When you start analyzing your partner's every word, trust erodes. Career. You can't make decisions. Projects get delayed, opportunities slip away. Overthinking slows your ability to take action, which can delay project timelines, reduce productivity, and affect your overall performance. Self-confidence. People start doubting or questioning themselves, thinking others know more or are more capable of making decisions. A little more erosion every day, silently, unnoticed. So, what's the solution? How do you stop this? Here's the truth. You can't completely eliminate overthinking, but you can manage it, and science tells us how. First step, awareness. Observing your thoughts without judgment and acknowledging them when they arise forms the foundation. Keep a thought journal. Identify your triggers. Notice when you start overthinking. Second step, physical intervention. Controlled breathing exercises help shift your focus to your breathing and calm your central nervous system. Even a 5-minute walk can trigger the flow of feel-good chemicals like endorphins to our brain. Third step, set time limits. Decide in advance how much maximum time you'll spend on a decision. Deciding upfront on the maximum time you'll spend making a decision helps focus your thinking and prevent excessive rumination. When time's up, make a decision with the best information you have. There's no perfect answer, except good enough. Fourth step, action. The difference between problem solving and overthinking? Problem solving is when you ask questions with the goal of finding an answer or putting a solution into action. Overthinking just stays in the loop. So take a step, even a small one. Any action breaks analysis paralysis. Fifth step, social support. Isolation feeds overthinking, while supportive relationships provide relief and perspective. But be careful, excessively discussing and going over problems with friends, co-rumination, might not help. Choose solution-focused conversations. 74% of people who received proper treatment improved, proving overthinking is a learned behavior and can be changed. This isn't a life sentence, it's a habit, and habits can change. Here's the final truth. Overthinking is destroying your life because it's keeping you from living it. Every time you overanalyze, you're missing the present moment. Every time you're indecisive, an opportunity disappears. Every time you ask what if, you're not asking what now. Life isn't lived through perfect decisions. It's lived through courageous actions, through trying, failing, learning, and sometimes through decisions that are just good enough. So next time you find yourself in a thought loop, ask one question. Is this thought truly serving me, or is it imprisoning me? Because overthinking can silently destroy your life, but when you're aware, you can take control. And that changes everything.